So our goal here at the South Utah Valley Animal Shelter is to provide lost, abused, and unwanted animals with compassion and proper care, make reasonable efforts to reunite lost pets with their rightful owners, eliminate the need for euthanasia of adoptable animals through adoption and rescue, and increase the public awareness of appropriate pet ownership responsibilities, including the importance of identification such as licensing and microchipping.
I always say that's really the best scenario if it winds up here, because this is a safe environment. We're going to take care of that animal. We're going to vaccinate it. We don't know if they've been vaccinated when they come in. So we vaccinate to prevent any outbreak in our shelter of any disease when they're coming in the door.
In the past few years, we get roughly between around 4,000 to 4,500 animals a year.
Every shelter and rescue in this nation right now is full. Fosters are full, rescues are full, shelters are full, and this is nationwide. And so, you know, we're all like right to here. We can't see the horizon anymore. So it's hard.
Well, it's a lot to take care of. You do see compassion fatigue for employees. I feel you get volunteers that feel the same way or don't come back. With that many animals, you have to find an outcome for them, whether that be the outcome that you would like to see, and it obviously isn't always that. I think we've outgrown our building. I think that's definitely something we've talked about and will continue to talk about on what's next. How do we go from here to get a bigger shelter?
We used to be able to have a double clinic out, or a kennel out in the dog area. So we had a bed on one side, they had their food and water on the other side. So they had the whole run. We're so full we can't take an owner-released pet right now. And people get very upset about that.
But yeah, when you get to that point of where we're super full, you have to look at what are our options now. You have to make the tough choices.
So when people get very upset and they call you names and they say nasty things, and I would like to walk them through the shelter and ask them, which dog do you want us to euthanize to make room for your dog?
I don't like the term no kill. I would consider us a low kill.
Most of these animals we find great outcomes for. We lose some to illness, and of course if they're a vicious animal we have to euthanize it.
Well, when I first started, we euthanized a lot of animals, and we'd go through, they'd come in, you have to hold them for their stray period, the legal hold. After that, if they were friendly, they'd go into adoption, and they had a time frame. You were in adoption 2 weeks. If you're not adopted, now you're gone. So I mean, to go from that to where we are now, it's a lot better, but it's sad to kind of see that possibly going backwards.
We have got to get animals moved into homes. So people need to adopt, they need to come and foster, they need to work with their rescues, they need to donate if they can, they need to volunteer time, and public education is a huge one as far as get ID on your pets, get them spayed and neutered. We understand that it's not cheap anymore. We wish it was. But please get them spayed and neutered, and please get ID on them. The animal industry has lost about 70 years of progress in spay and neuter since COVID because the animals are reproducing so quickly. We have cats that come in and they're either pregnant or they've had a litter and they have 7 to 9 kittens. And they can do that at least twice a year. This is kind of my soapbox that I'm standing on screaming from the rooftops is Utah County needs a low-cost spay and neuter clinic.
We don't have that in Utah County. We did before COVID, and now they don't offer that anymore to the public. So you have a lot of people that want to get their animal fixed, but the cost of it's really expensive. So they're like, well, I gotta feed my kids. So they're just unable to do it. And we see a lot more animals due to that. I think, just for one, responsible pet ownership, keeping ID on your animals, whether that be a license, a name tag, microchip, because that would help eliminate them from coming in originally at all. And then if there was some way the state could get involved to offer low-cost spay and neuter.
One of my jobs is organizing and holding 13 low-cost vaccination clinics throughout our community, and those go from the spring into the fall. But at those events, for several years now, we've offered free microchipping. So it just kind of is frustrating that more of the public hasn't taken advantage of that. So they can get a microchip, their rabies shot, low-cost vaccinations, and just a one-stop and done, and it's just a walk-through clinic.
I also feel there needs to be some sort of legislation, if that's the way it needs to go, for breeders.
We didn't used to see a lot of puppies when spay and neuter was more accessible, and we're seeing more puppies. It frustrates me that the breeders are going full tilt, and the shelters are full of animals. That's the hard part for me, because I know some of these pets are older. We're getting some senior pets in, and nobody's coming to claim them. That makes me really feel for that pet. I can't imagine when an older pet, like what they think when their family doesn't come and get them. So, when they've been abandoned.